Hi guys, it's Chantale from Lepage Cafe. I hope you guys are all doing well. I am keeping very busy with my kids and I'm trying to find some projects that are easy to do and just to play, because some days you just need to not think and just play. Now this project is extremely easy, super easy. I will show you guys how I did these. You don't need a lot of stuff. You literally need scraps, like literally. You know that lovely box of scraps or lovely random bits that you've got and you're like, I just don't know what to do with them. But you don't want to throw them out because, I mean, they're big enough that you could use them, or there was a leftover from a project you worked on and you're like, okay, now I forgot about this one tag, or I forgot about that I printed these, so I can't throw them out. But I don't know when I'll use them next. So this project is for those scraps. And then I will do another project for the itty bitty scraps at the end because I don't like to waste much of anything. If you know me, I try to use up what I have. But you know, sometimes they're so random, you just don't know what to do with them. So I'm super excited about this. I followed a lovely tutorial by Susie at Shabby Soul. She's on Instagram and also on YouTube. I will put all of her links below. Sorry, I can't talk. I'm just too excited. Okay. She followed this awesome tutorial, or I guess it was a live stream from Dina. I think it's Dina Wakley. Hopefully I said her name right. I will link her Facebook group as well below, that where I went back and checked it out because Susie said that she had learned this fun binding technique that's super simple, and she had learned it from Dina. So I had to go check it out, right? After I watched, Susie's tutorial, I just went nuts. I was so excited. I was like, oh, I gotta try this out. So I took my one box of random bits that I have sitting over there and I started looking through it. Now you can do them whichever way you want. This is just my interpretation. So these are what I created. They're kind of like little junk book, kind of. You could put regular, tea-dyed paper or just regular white paper. Just use what you've got. Like seriously, it's so simple. So I'm just going to show you a couple of them. I made, how many did I make? I made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a binding that you could definitely make a big journal with. You could make a teeny tiny journal, or, this binding you can work with just about anything, and you can make it as big or as small as you want, which is super cool. I really, really love, and I love that you can also like add, like these are not even well, I started decorating and then I thought I'm just gonna show you guys kind of the basics. So what I did with these is I went with color. So these ones are kind of like green themed, right? And then this one is kind of a brown with the mushrooms. Just gonna put those aside. And these are kind of different blue ones that I have kind of put together. What I did for the front, I wanted some kind of focal point at the front. Now, Susie does them completely different. She has, her pieces are a bit more of the same size, but you definitely can do it all the same size if you want. You could cut them all the same size, but I really wanted to kind of do like a scrappy, kind of a variety of sizes. You really use what I had. And I've got so many random bits. And I've got this one that's kind of in the pinkies, and these are pink kind of colored. Some of these things were sent to me in Happy Mail. Now, unfortunately, I don't know where some of these things, like this was a wrapping paper that I loved and I wanted to keep. And this is a tea bag. Like I got a little box of tea, I believe, and I had to keep the wrapping because it was so beautiful. So they're like TP, biodegradable kind of tea that I got a long time ago. This I've had forever and have no idea how to use it. So it's literally little scraps, and they make a little journal, and then you can write in them if you wanted to. You could literally add whatever you want to them. You could put just plain papers in there. You could put white paper, like I've got some, this is book pages, and you literally more of that wrapping paper. And then this is Tim Holtz. So they are super simple. That's one of the pink ones. I'll just flip through them real quick. They are, now these ones I used washi tape. You can use you could use pieces of papers that you stick down. You could use, this is an old envelope that I received. Book page, another kind of scrapbook, cardstock kind of, and then a Tim Holtz. I tried to, what had happened with these Tim Holtz papers, I had accidentally folded them wrong, and I didn't like how they turned out, so I just ripped around them. So I made them work. And I kind of wanted some kind of base that was strong enough to, you know, hold I mean, they hold really well regardless, right? So this one is like one of these little kind of, what are these? Rolodex cards, I believe. I picked these up and I dyed them. So I just thought this one was my first one I did. So I've got one of these little bags with this was on my orchids, so I thought it was so pretty. So on the back, I'll probably just put some random, you know, tea-dyed paper or something on the back. So these are literally just scraps. Some were, this is a piece of wallpaper that was sent to me, I believe. Another piece of wallpaper I've had for a while, didn't know what to do with them. So it's literally, and this is where I had started collaging. So the rest I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep putting these together randomly, and then I'll decorate them later. And this is just a little scrap that was left over that I decided to add to it. There's not really no rhyme or reason. I didn't like the picture behind it, so I used a piece of scrap. And this is an envelope that was sent to me from my sweet friend. I've got a bunch of them. One of my wonderful pen pals as well. So these are super cool. So I added a piece of Tracy's lovely paper that I had left over that I haven't even used yet. So anyways, I had a plan with them, and I don't know, it didn't happen. I haven't worked with them, so I just happened to find them. So there you go. So this was kind of my base. There is an envelope. It is an envelope right here. So I will probably add something in there. And then I'll show you the blue ones. Just do a very quick, this one I have to fix because the tape kind of ripped, so I'll fix that. But I just kind of want to show you, you could choose whatever size. This is kind of going to be, see, it's got staples, so it's going to be a little pocket. Yeah, so this one opens from the top. There's an actual letter in there. It's a vintage one. And then I got some music paper, some really old vintage, so I might add something to protect that as well. So there's one of the blue ones. Another little blue one. Now this one was just, this picture is from Tracy Fox, but it was just printed on regular paper. So I wanted a little bit more stability on it. So I put a little piece of cardstock on the back. So it's quite literally random, very, very random. Now you could make these all the same size very, very easily. But I just wanted something kind of different that was not like my usual, not regular journals. Now, it's so much fun creating this, you guys. As you can tell, I made these yesterday and today. So I literally just, I've got scraps so much like right beside me, and I was just like, I'm just gonna play with these. And then I thought, what about using colors that are, see, this one I added after, and made it like kind of a hinge with the tape. Now, the only downside of this, or downfall of this, is I don't have a lot of washi tape, so I'll show you. You could use other tapes as well, or you could use pieces of material if you wanted to, or even pieces of papers. I'm sure you could use if you don't have. Washi tape was just easy, or any kind of tape, right? Because this is a piece of file folder. Some of these things were sent to me in Happy Mail. When Nick the Booksmith have done those super cool little scrapbooks, I had kind of exchanged with a bunch of people. So there was a variety of papers, and I still have them. So I thought, what a fun way of using those. There's another one of those envelopes. another, this one I collage on the top, so it's like 3 or 4 different pieces of paper I received in a Happy Mail. This is a nice little picture that was also sent to me in Happy Mail. Yeah, so I'm just trying to go through these quick enough. This is a postcard. It can be just like regular, this is regular, very thin book page, I believe. So it doesn't, and this is an envelope that was also sent to me in Happy Mail that I wasn't sure how to use. I just find that these are so fun. This is some of Tracy Fox's mushrooms. Yeah, so it's literally scraps, random scraps, guest checks. So I kind of bundled up a couple of the pages that I was thinking of using. I've got in here, so right now I'm just going to put these to the side so that this video is not crazy long. I've already used up 10 minutes just showing you guys, but it's very, very simple to do, you guys. I showed you guys that. Okay, so these could be like given to your pen pals. They could literally use just the scraps in their journals. You could stick these in like a journal as a like extra stuff that you could use in your journal, and it's all matchy. So like, for example, this big guy, I haven't even finished, but you could like add it in the front like this as like scraps that you could use in your journal. Well, this one's too wide, but, or you could kind of have it, you could even have it kind of clipped on one page, like kind of like that, so that you could, these are thicker, so I wouldn't necessarily make them this thick for a journal, but you could easily put it in like this, or you could send it to a pen pal as a cute little journal that they could use. There's so many things, and you can decorate them as much or as little as you want, to be completely honest. I might make one of these with the postcards. I've got a bunch of postcards that I've received that are just kind of pinned on my wall for now, but this could be a cool way of journaling as well. So I kind of really like how it kind of lays flat as well. So anyways, so let's make one. Okay, so I have, this is one of a lot of random bits. So these are the itty bitty, we won't use those, but see, this is just one that I was kind of working through. Some of these smaller bits I won't use. Well, you could, but I'm gonna keep those for little scrappies, and the little scrappy bits that I will make. So I kind of started, so what I do, how I do it, you do not have to do it this way. You can put them all the same size if you want. It's completely up to you. What I've decided to do is kind of start separating them by colors. So I'm just going to move this over so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing. So that's kind of what I've got. This one doesn't have very many cards yet, but don't overthink the process. This could work. This is kind of in the greens. You could definitely go with purples even. Like, you could definitely use this in there. And I just kind of place them according to how I like it. Now, excuse me, I got a little itch in my throat. You could place these whichever way you want. They could be all the same size, but I really like the variety, the different sizes. So you could just make a smaller one as well. So what I'm going to do for today, so it's not crazy long, is I'm just going to take the pink one, and we are going to kind of place it the way I like it, and then I'm going to show you how I bind it. So I'm just going to make sure I am in frame. So these are just random bits that I kind of liked how these were sent to me in Happy Mail. I got a little bit of, so here I kind of started how I wanted to place them. Okay. So then I just kind of look at it and see what I like. Now I really like this kind of dark purple for a contrast, but I don't want to lose the other one behind. So I'm going to take a little bit off of here. Put that little bit over there. Now you don't have to do this. It's completely up to you how you want to place them. I just kind of like that little pop of dark. And then there's this cool paper, which has kind of like some, I think it's glued on to it with sparkles maybe? I don't know. Anyways, I just kind of like the pattern, so I want to kind of put it in there somewhere to kind of give it a little pop of color. So I'm going to just rip this little bit off. I'm thinking that for another time. So I literally just play around until I kind of like, there's no, you can do them whichever way you really want, to be honest. I'm thinking I want in between these two, I'm thinking maybe this, I think it's almost, I think it's handmade paper. I'm not sure. Now, I try to keep the edge here straight so that my tape is kind of more, it's flatter for the binding. Sorry if you guys can hear my dogs. They're kind of barking outside. So this will do. Now, you can do 2 and 1, or you can do, I'm going to just use this pink washi tape. You could use masking tape if you wanted, like this type kind of tape. You could use, this is kind of a surgical tape kind of that I had. It would probably hold a lot better. Like if you wanted to hold really well, I would suggest you use the washi tape, but make sure you could add glue to it if you want. I haven't had any problems because it's paper. I mean, if it was like material, obviously you wouldn't want to use tape, right? This tape, most washi tapes now are they're sticky enough. If they're not sticky enough, you could always add glue, but I really wanted to keep this simple. So I decided to just washi. And did you notice I did not ink anything? I wanted to keep this as simple as possible with a variety of papers. So let's get started. So I'm going to put my stack to one side. I'm going to take the top picture, this one, and then I'm just going to put 2 pieces, and I measure about this size. For this one, I want 2, they're going to be like your little hinges, right? So I got one here. And I'm going to put it about here, okay? And then you just take it with your washies and flip it, okay? Your next one, you want your tapes to be in between. Now, at this point, you could just put 1 tape in between, but I want them to have at least 2 to 3 pieces of tape, okay? So I'm going to put my tape in between, right? Like that. You'll catch on really quick. At first I was like, I'm just trying to figure out how this works. So you put 2. Let's see how long this one is. I'm going to do 2 and 3. So you're going to alternate from 2 to 3, 2 pieces and then 3 pieces. So I'm going to go like that. And then you flip this one on top, and then you may kind of like line up the edges with your tapes in between, right? So you're going to flip the ones that are on this back one. So the one in between. So this one and this one. So the 2, right? So now your next one, because you have 3 here, you want 2 on this side. So you want 2. Washi tape is super easy to use because a lot of people have it. But you could definitely glue pieces of paper if you wanted to. Like those little strips, little leftovers, you could definitely use them. Now, you just line them up wherever you want it, right? Like that. And it's the 3 this time, right? Because we did 2. So you do the opposite, right? Like that. So now you have your 2. Your next one would be your 3. So 1, 2. It's always the opposite of your tape sticking out. So you want your tapes to kind of go in between, right? And it's as simple as that. So you just keep going all the way through your pieces of papers. I didn't really count my pieces of papers because, I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. So then you would flip the last 2, the 2 in between, right? Hopefully this makes sense. And I would frame it. Okay, so next one, you want 2, right? So the ones that are stuck over are the same as you're going to put on the other side. Does that make sense? I don't know. You just put 2 now because you have 3 sticking out, right? So you do the opposite. So 1 and 2, okay? And then you line them up. Like, I mean, you could easily line it up going down there, or I kind of want it in between, like my paper, so it sticks out at the top and the bottom of my little journal. But you could definitely, oops, line, I'm gonna bring it down a bit. Line them up, like if you could definitely use just all the same size, for sure. So then you go like that, now you flip, you stick the 3, right? The opposite. So now this is the next one. So we want 3. So this is literally just the base. Now you could decorate all of these before you glue them. If you want pockets and you want to sew, you could definitely sew before you stick them, right? Before you put them together. And you don't have to worry about signatures. It's super simple. I think this is like probably the easiest and quickest way of binding a book, to be completely honest. I just love this. It's so simple, and at the same time you're using up scraps, right? So now you do 2, just like that. And then the fun part after this is you get to decorate it whichever way. Now this could easily be done with your kids too, if you're trying to find an easy job or easy little craft with me kind of tutorial thing that you would like to do with your kids on, well, you know, you don't, sometimes you've got days where you're like, I don't know what to do with them. So I thought this is such a fun little easy, because most of us have washi. If you don't have washi, you could use masking tape. You could use even packing tape if you wanted to, or even Scotch tape would work. Probably hold even better. Now you will get tape on whatever piece of paper you're adding, right? So just remember that. It really doesn't bother me, to be honest. I think it's kind of cool. It gives it a little character. I think that's right. What am I doing? See, I'm talking and I'm not really paying attention. Okay, so next one would be your 2, right? So do your 2. Okay, just like that. And then put the purple. Then we kind of just line it up. Okay, so now at this point, oops, the last sheet of paper, you do not need tape for it. You just line it up and just fold the last pieces of tape. And there you go. Your little book is done. And now it's the point where you can decorate it. And see, that's it, you guys. It's so simple. I love that little bit of tape there. It just gives it a little something. You could definitely use different colors if you want. You could change your colors up for your tape and have like, trying to think of the ones that I might have. See, like this one has the little stripe on the one, and then the little pink one, and then striped. This one only had one tape on this one, and I found that it was very wobbly, this guy. So I reinforced it on the back. So that's why there's a double tape there. And there's the two, the different colors, right? But yeah, it's so much fun. And let's say you're making one and you start at the beginning with 2 and 1. You can easily add more tape later and make it like, see, I turned it into a 2 and 3, right? But my binding started with 2 and 1, but, or you could do 2 and 2 and then add your third one once your pieces of papers get bigger, because then it gives it a little bit more support as well, right? So there you go, you guys. Now at this point, you could go through it and decorate it like I started here and right here. Yeah, so it's super fun way of, and then I'll probably add a little piece of thread up here as well with, yeah, so, and then it's up to you what you want to add to it to give it, like I added a little Tim Holtz, like one of those fussy cut ones, like the cardstock. So it also gives it a little bit more strength. You can add, like this back one is also an envelope, so you could add a big tag back there. There is so many opportunities, so many things that you could do with these. And just like that, you have yourself a little journal. And that's it, you guys. Simple as that. And now at this point, you could decorate it whichever way you want. You could also use all, you know, if you wanted to just put tea-dyed paper and, you know, use the, you could use all like the same papers, you know, you could change it up and, you know, you can make, and like, let's say you're making a thicker book, like a bigger, what I would do, what I suggest is put like a thicker washi or a stickier washi or a like a bigger, you could even use sticker sheet and print off whatever you want on your sticker sheet and cut them in slices and have them a little wider. So your binding is a little thicker and it'll hold it a little bit better, I would think. But this is perfectly fine. It works, and you can literally keep going for as, you can make them as thick or as thin as you want. Like this one's a little thinner. I was having so much fun with this guy that it ended up way thicker, you know. This one's thicker, it's got more stuff in it. Same thing with this one. I used 2 different types of washi in this one as well, I think. And then I ended up just using the orange at the end. But yeah, so I think these are so much fun, and I hope that you give it a go and you go check out Susie's YouTube channel and Dina Wakley as well, if you're an artist and you love, like she does a lot of paintings as well, and she's been doing a live almost every day, so that's super cool. I will probably be doing an art journaling kind of series. Yeah, so I hope you guys are well and you are staying safe and staying home, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.